and welcome back to winemastery.co.uk. My name is John Lightfoot and this is
John Murphy.
And we're here to tell you about wine, hopefully help you find the wine, if not the wines that you will absolutely love. In this episode, we are following through from another episode that we produced just a little while ago on a Ramon Bilbao
Tempranillo.
Thank you.
Yeah, all right.
Tempranillo, which was £8, suggested by Ben Allen. And so when I was at the supermarket, I noticed that there was one for £1 more from the same producer. So I thought, well, we'll get that.
I bet you did not think it's £1 more expensive. We'll just get that. I bet you thought for a long, hard time, oh, it's £1 more. I reckon you had a lot of thought process before actually.
Well, actually, to be honest, it went the other way around because I looked at it and I thought that this one was the one that Ben had suggested.
Right.
And then I was relieved because the one he suggested was a pound less. So I actually had that nice relieved feeling.
I can imagine. I know how this would go. But sorry, John, carry on.
So this one is £1 more, so £9 rather than £8, and you may well have arrived here from the link from the previous video. So just explain this one is following on. So we'll be really interested to see what extra quality that £1 gives us, especially as it's the same, presumably the same vineyards. It's the same producer, so presumably the same vineyards. I made the mistake in the previous video of saying it was 9 months in oak, the previous one. It was in fact 3 months, and this one is 14 months in oak. So I'm guessing that will give it a completely different characteristic. I'm guessing.
I would reckon so.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of time in oak. Is that? It's got to pull some flavour from there.
Okay. Well, let's have a look at the colour to begin, shall we?
Let's do it, John.
Okay. Wow. So, the last one we tried had a purple rim around the edge. This one hasn't got any of that.
No.
It's certainly darker. You can't see through the wine so easily, through to the sort of white background. Mm-hmm. And I think the thing that you pointed out to me earlier is that the legs seem to, I don't know if it's more alcoholic, but...
I probably will have to check that, John. I think it just looks weightier. It's a more deep, rich garnet colour about it. The way it acts in the glass, the viscosity in there, it just seems to be, and quite well is, the bigger brother of that first one we tried. Which again, there's nothing wrong with the first one. Those were saying it could take a chill, time and place for every single wine. But this just looks to be, just from the look there, we can tell. So I'm going to go straight ahead and have a go on the nose, John.
Okay, so am I? Now, what I'm getting from that, I say, well, I don't mean in a disparaging way, but it's wood, lots of wood.
It's well, that's the difference, isn't it? That's just 14 months in oak. It's got much more about it on there. But it's tough to get.
I'm going to say, but what I mean by that is it's hiding the fruit. I can't.
Yeah, it's tough to get through to that fruit, and I'm struggling. But this isn't a bad thing because I love the oakiness of a Rioja. I love that kind of big, powerful oak, because it's a fairly obvious one for me. I've mentioned many times it's my favourite, so I'm happy just to get this.
This reminds me of the situations where you're in a sort of a party and you're talking to someone and you're smelling the wine and think, I really want to taste this, but it'd be rude because I'm concentrating on what the person's telling me, and you feel like you want to taste it, but it'd be rude to do so.
Yeah, but we've done this before, where you just get too excited. I've done it many. I'm dribbling a little. Get some excited. But I've done it before when we've been talking and just not even knowing I'm doing, just having a taste. So let's not deny ourselves anymore. John.
No. Well, for us, as I've just said, this is a back-to-back with a previous wine, and that, compared to the previous wine, has so much more of a better mouthfeel in it.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the first thing that hit me, actually, before even the in fact, I was so impressed with that I forgot to taste the taste.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's bringing that cherry back in there. There's a lot of that... the oak, which is completely understandable, we knew that would be there. But like you say, it's a different way. It's at the very finish there's a little hint of licorice for me. It just sits on the back of my tongue, but nicely.
Yeah.
And like the tannins.
Is there a little bit of pepper or spiciness at the end there?
I describe it as a spiciness.
Yeah.
No, I see what you mean. More peppery.
Yeah?
Yeah, very interesting, John. It's brilliant, isn't it, when... I do love it where sometimes I'll say, do you get that? And then it was like, oh, no. And then you get that and Yeah, it's very
Well, I
interesting.
think it's really interesting when someone sort of says something to you and you've not tasted it. Then as soon as they say it, it like sort of lifts the curtains, you immediately, yeah, that's what it is.
That's just what I got with a pepper. Thank you, John.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is also the other compared. This is saying it's £1 more expensive than the previous bottle we tried, which you see the link at the end of this video. But the length is extraordinarily long compared to the previous.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, the other one, the kind of it hadn't been in oak for a long time, very young wine, so you'd expect it to be like, and I've said it would take a chill. This is quite the opposite. Like we were discussing, sometimes you just want to sit in front of the fire and really take to pieces a bit of wine, in a nice way, really get in there. And this is more akin to that style of wine.
Yeah.
I would say a good all-rounder again.
And again, £9.
Like say just £1 more than the previous one.
Yeah, but even I'm just thinking, compared to some other Riojas that we've had, which actually we've been disappointed with, where we've been paying sort of like £15, £16 and felt disappointed. This one's comparable with those, maybe even slightly better, but when you're paying £9, it's a different ballgame.
Yeah. I mean, we had a run, didn't we, of some very poor Riojas, didn't we?
Yeah.
So we're making up for it now. So,
yeah.
Yeah, good. I'm thoroughly enjoying that. £9. Happily spend £9 on that.
So cheese.
Ooh.
So many to choose from.
Yeah, there are.
So little time to tell you about them.
Well, I'm gonna have to go. And I'm 90% sure I must have recommended this before with a Rioja, because in my mind I can't get away from it. A good Rioja, and I can taste the cheese now because I know exactly what I put in. It would be a cave-aged Gruyere, which is an 18-month-old Gruyere. But I just know how well they work together, and I could think of other ones that would probably match it, but nothing to that kind of. Those two together is supreme.
Yeah, and for me, food-wise, I'm sort of drawn to beef, which is a little bit boring maybe, but I'm also drawn to shepherd's pie.
Okay, yeah.
So minced lamb meat and the potato on top, maybe a little bit of cheese. So I'm drawn to that because I think the fat in the lamb will help this wine.
Oh, I always like a bit of that fatty lamb, don't we? You can't beat it.
No, so I'd go with that. And then if you were having something a little bit more casual, like a burger, depending on the toppings you were having, even something like a burger, I think that this would go well with as well.
Yeah. I wouldn't disagree with you there, John.
Excellent. Good. Okay, so now we come to the thorny issue.
The thorny issue.
The thorny issue of the score.
Right, well, I have a number in my head, and I'm going to just go for it. Number one, what you getting from there? No. And then value for money, what we looked at before, this is £1 more. So I think that's really influenced this scoring. Perhaps on a blind tasting, I might not have scored it as well, but I'm going to go up and say 78.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'd actually nudged this up to 81.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think you're right. The previous tasting has perhaps, you're right, maybe
clouded slightly.
Yeah, maybe have clouded it slightly. But, so, I'm tempted to bring down to 80, but I think, for £9, it's a Rioja. I don't really think anyone could say anything against it at that price.
No, I think I was trying to rein it in, thinking in the grand scheme of things what we have tried before, I've given much better scores for, and you reserve, well, I know in my mind, I reserve these top scores for something which it's delicious, it's £9, it's alright, but it's not outstanding.
Funnily enough, I've just, as I was just doing some statistics on the spreadsheets of our videos, really fascinating stuff, hey guys. We're consistently, actually, recently, in the last 6 months, been where I've been scoring 3 points more than you. It's like seems to be the consistent.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. So for some reason, I'm obviously just more of a generous sort of guy.
Obviously, it's probably just got drunker.
Probably. Yeah. Well, excellent. Well, guys, as I say, the link will be here for you to look at our previous video from the same producer, see what you think of that. If you try this, please give us your comments. Let us know what you think. Once again, thanks to Ben very much for giving us the idea of trying this wine. If you have any ideas or feel that we should be tasting some wines, let us know and we'll see if we can try and get hold of them and do a review on them as well. And so until next time, guys, we look forward to seeing you there. Chin chin!
Chin chin!